Welcome to We're Talking Bears, the show where uncle, nephew, and son bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience. I'm Uncle,
I'm nephew.
I'm son.
and we're talking Bears. How
Yup.
y'all feeling about 2026?
Like the
Man,
year in general, or like the football season upcoming. Like
The football year, man. Come on
good
now.
because it's a
They
wild,
are good.
different vibe. It's a different vibe. Like the year itself, terrible. The football season upcoming, I'm looking forward to it. So
Look, hey, I think we're gonna need a break from reality, and football does not
yeah,
is not a painful break from reality,
yeah,
unless we're losing to the
well,
Packers. It's painful.
It's been a painful break at times in our past, but
at times, like usually, it's been a painful break. Let's be real.
Yeah, but I'm feeling like I'm feeling different. I'm feeling different. I'm feeling different for a lot of reasons. One, I'm feeling different that you know, uh, uh I actually feel pretty good about, what we've gone through this off season. I was worried. I was worried. I'll be honest. I was worried, but I do like. I'm not as afraid with the moves. I know that you're never gonna, when you start to be a good team with high salaries, you're never gonna keep everybody. You know, that doesn't happen. But I think that the moves. I like the moves. How do y'all feel about the moves? Just in general, first.
um, I'll grab it. I think I'm excited about the moves as well. Um, we've lost a lot of guys, key guys, from this past season, specifically in the secondary, guys that actually balled out for us this last year. But you know what? This is how I look at it. Your success is attributed to the guys that are on the field and the job they do. But sometimes you have good coaching, you got good chemistry, you have a good culture of things going on, and you don't want to be married to guys in a way where you're not really accepting of the change. And so I'll say it like this: we've lost some key guys from last year. However, a few of those guys didn't begin the year with us, haven't been longtime Bears. But Poles, Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, those guys were able to identify needs and bring in guys that were good for what we had going on. And so in losing them, I'm just hoping that they're still just as good moving forward with identifying needs and placing the right guys in those spots. So I'm sad to see a lot of those guys go, but I'm extremely optimistic about what the coaching staff and the front office is going to do moving forward, because they've been pretty much convincing me this past year and a half with the things they've done. Last year's draft, we got a Manungai in round 7. We were skeptical of Colston Loveland being picked with our early. What was it, number 10? What was he? 10?
Uh,
10.
10, I thought so. And we were skeptical of that, but he turned out great. We got a Burden in the second round. Turned out great. So hopefully they can do that this year with the defense and some different areas of need that we have now. Kobe Bryant being brought in. I know you said just in general, but just speaking to some of the guys we brought in, Bush being brought in. Hate to see Edmunds go, but if the coach Dennis Allen is looking for particular skill sets, and he's getting guys in that he feels fit his scheme, I have to trust him, because this past year he's proven himself in my opinion, with how he had those guys playing. So like I said, I hate to see him go. Guys that made Pro Bowls this year, set league records for the season and takeaways. Hate to see him go, but if we can upgrade and be better, and I know when you lead the league in takeaways, it's hard to imagine what better can look like. But if Dennis Allen and Poles feel like they can upgrade and they can become better, then I'm here for it.
well, you wanna holler at that, son?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, echoing kind of what So's just said, like it's been it's been quite a ride. You know, the start of last year was not good. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the defense, especially. You know, we won a lot of games we shouldn't have been in. Um, we had, you know, the Bengals put up 40 something points on us, and Joe Flacco threw for 400 yards. We had, you know, defenses were or offenses were tearing our defense up. And Dennis Allen, you know, part of it was getting some guys back, some key guys back from injury. Part of it was guys kind of learning Dennis Allen's scheme and what they were supposed to be doing. But towards the end of the season, when we started getting ready for a playoff push, man, he had them boys firing on all cylinders, especially the secondary. So losing guys like Nashawn Wright and Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker, that hurts. We're gonna feel that impact next year for sure. There's no question about that. But it's about, you know, being the next man up. It's about bringing guys in, like you said, with Bryant and Devin Bush and guys like that that can step in and do the job and do what they're being asked to do. You know, it's going to be a task for the rest of our team, the guys that are staying, to bring that leadership to, you know, kind of bring those new guys along and teach them the system and make sure that they're where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be, executing at the high level that we're starting to come to expect. But that's on the coaches. And Dennis Allen's proved he's a good coach. You know, the experience um, in that coaching room, in the front office in general right now, it's starting to form some habits, some good habits, some winning habits, and I just want to see that continue. So
Yeah, I'm not in disagreement. I guess I got a different kind of angle to it. I kind of look at it from the standpoint of, who did we pick up to solve a problem in the middle of the year and give them an opportunity to rebound their career? Because obviously, if you're available after September 1st, your career is not going so great.
you're talking about
You're not.
CJ DJ.
You're talking about, yep, CJ GJ, incredible player for us.
Yeah.
Literally, we don't win the division without him. He made some huge impacts the first game he suited up, and many,
Mhm.
many games afterwards. Again, similar situation with your boy Nashawn Wright.
Mhm.
Incredible impact. Definitely helped us turn some games around. Some of those guys were like incredible finds, but they were on 1 year fill a spot in contract. So I don't feel so bad about losing them, because it's kind of like we never had. It's like renting a car. No matter how good that car is, when you borrowed it that it wasn't yours. You know, I think it's different when you look at guys like Byard, right? And you're like, okay, this guy, he's ours. You know what I mean? He's been ours. He's been here. He's been a part of this defense for several years. He's a leader, shown that he can get it done, and then he's gone. That's or DJ. Those are losses, right? Or
Yeah.
Tremaine. Those are losses because those are your guys. At the same time, I really feel really positive because one of my dad's digs, your grandfather, one of the digs was letting guys go because of the money and not truly replacing them. There's a business and financial aspect to the NFL, no argument. It is a business. Players get paid millions, and owners are billionaires. It's a business. So, but when you look at that, you can't. You got 11 guys that suit up that start on each side of the ball. You can't let 4 or 5 guys go that were crucial to you and not replace them. That's the issue that I've had in the past with the Bears. Now, I don't think everybody that we grabbed in free agency is equal to the person that we lost. Clearly center. We had a guy retire, totally surprised us, right? We went and got a center, but they're not equal. They're not. But when you flip it to the other side of the ball and you look at some of these losses like Bayard, and I gotta say, Kobe Bryant, you could argue that those guys are equal as far as their they each one brings a little bit something different, but we're
Yeah.
not taking a step back with Bayard, just like
Well,
before.
let me push back
Go
on that
ahead,
statement a
play
little
the
bit.
argument.
Bayard and Bryant are a little more different than you're suggesting. I think Bayard is kind of, he's a generational ball hawk, like maybe just a step down from a guy like Ed Reed. So like you're talking a guy who has the most interceptions in the NFL since he was drafted. Like there is no better ball hawk in the NFL. So when you say a guy is equivalent to Kevin Byard, I'm gonna push back on that. I'm gonna say that it is very difficult to make a lateral move from a guy with that kind of pedigree and that kind of instincts. I like Kobe Bryant. I think he's young, he's hungry, he's talented. He just won a Super Bowl. He probably wants to do another. Like he brings some experience of what that big game is like to the secondary. But you're talking about a guy who led the league in picks. Was it 2 years running with Kevin Byard with us? Something like that, or was close to it, if not. So, like,
let me defend my argument. I hear you.
Okay,
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Let me defend my argument. Let me defend
Go
my
ahead.
argument.
Go ahead.
So when we sit back and we look to Kobe Bryant as a replacement for Kevin Byard, one, you have to factor in that Byard's going to be 33 this year, and for his position, 33 is old. He's not an offensive lineman at 33. He's running around chasing 20-year-olds at 33.
And
so
leading the league in picks.
And well, last year, right? Last year. We'll see if
Didn't he do it this year too?
Okay. So but again, there's eventually going to be a fall off. Is it this year? Is it next year? We don't know yet. Time will tell, right? So Bryant could be still on the ascending part of his career. He's only 26. So you got to give him that. Secondly, Byard's not the greatest cover guy. We saw him get burnt also. Like if you get stuck and he's one-on-one against a really good or really fast receiver, that guy's catching the ball. Now, he may not get into the end zone, but he's catching the ball and he might get a lot of yards. We saw that many times last year. That, and I think that Kobe Bryant's game is suited more to that one-on-one coverage situation, whereas he used to be a cornerback. He came in the league as a corner, got transitioned to safety, and has picked up 7 picks in his first 2 years playing the safety game. He's also got 7 forced fumbles through his time, more of them towards the cornerback time. But so he's not Byard, but he's turning the ball over, and in his 2 years as safety, he's got 7 picks. If he continues to ascend, if he gets 4 or 5 for us as a safety, that's really good. It's not Byard. Byard was 7, but it's really, really good. And if he does better in that one-on-one coverage against the tight ends, that can make a huge difference. Because we were boomer bust defense. We gave up a ton of yards, and then we take the ball away. If we can kind of adjust that a little bit so teams aren't running us up and down the field, and we still have 80% of the ball hawking that we did, but we give up only 85% of the yards, I think we're a better defense.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I understand where you at. It takes a lot of a lot of different things to be a successful safety, right, in this league. And I feel like Kobe Bryant definitely has the potential to be a very, very successful safety for a very long time. So not upset at all with the signing. I'm just putting out there that
it's big shoes to fill.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to replacing a guy
Massive
like
shoes to
Byard,
fill.
it's a very, very large role you got to fill in terms of communication on the back end, in terms of identifying the offense, what they're trying to do, in terms of being in the right position to make the play, and they're executing. So it's not just as simple as get good numbers and you're good. Um, I just want to put it out there that as a unit, when our starting secondary was on the field, whether it was Tyreek Stevenson or Nashawn Wright at the second corner, but we had Kyler Gordon in the slot, we had Jalen Johnson at primary on their top receiver, we had Byard out there, and we had Brisker in that kind of flex role, moving up and down to the line of scrimmage, filling in a linebacker. We were really hard to throw.
I will
That's the
accept
standard.
that.
That's the standard that I'm looking for.
That.
Okay, so we're probably going to end up looking for another safety slash kind of a hybrid player to fill that flex role, because right now we've replaced Byard in that free safety ball hawk kind of space, but we haven't replaced that other safety spot either. And we also need to look really hard at where Tyreek Stevenson is, because Nashawn Wright kind of took his job last year. And is that something that, he's going to bounce back? Is he going to, step up? Or do we need to start looking at that other cornerback position? Like you said, letting guys go without replacing them. Is two more spots in that secondary that we really are looking hard at. And those are the biggest, I want to say that those are the biggest losses that we've had in terms of free agency besides DJ Moore.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. Again, we also obviously we lost Brisker and CJ GJ and Nashawn Wright. I mean, they came in to play ball. We don't go to the playoffs without those two guys.
No, agreed.
No, we don't. So there's a lot. On the other side of the ball, you lose your center, and that center is crucial. You lose a Pro Bowl center. He had him this year. Pro Bowl center, all pro level guy, Pro Bowl center that anchored that offensive line, that gave us the nasty when we're running the ball. You lose that, and you lose your number one receiver. That's pain. That's pain. That's pain. When we looked at that, what'd you say?
I don't mean I got a question.
No, go ahead.
Do any of these moves shock you? Any of these moves? I mean, of course, the Drew Dahlman one came kind of out of left field, and we weren't expecting that. But as far as front office moves and stepping away from some of these guys who are free agents, not re-signing them, have any of those moves shocked you guys?
I'm not going to use the word shock, because for the reason that Byard is getting old, I can understand making a move towards a youth movement. That's the only reason, because it's an unknown factor, right? When is his body going to stop being able to handle a full NFL season? Brisker, and a lot of the Brisker and a lot of those guys that we let go of, Brisker, Edmunds, guys that are good, that were good, solid players for us, but couldn't stay on the field a lot. You have to see that, hey, availability is the number one ability. The 1 year triad guys, I figured we were going to lose them because they had great years with us. And so that meant they were going to get some money. They were going to get paid. And they weren't going to be on that 1 year near the league minimum deal. And so, did we want to do that? So I figured those. So I wasn't surprised by anything but losing our center. That was a surprise. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Dahlman was the biggest surprise, obviously, because 20, what was he, 28, 29, something like that?
Not even.
Maybe even younger.
20.
Yeah, so losing a guy that young to retirement, you got to wonder what was kind of going on. Is this something personal with him? Is this something that, he just came to the decision that, he couldn't do it anymore. He didn't want to do it anymore. Whatever it is, I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. But it does leave a big, big, it leaves a big, big hole for us. We picked him thinking that he was going to be,
we traded for him.
Anchoring. No, he was free agent, wasn't he? I don't think
we traded. I thought we gave up something.
We traded for Tooney.
Oh, okay.
I think down.
All right. Oh, yeah. We just gave him a big contract.
But yeah. So we're thinking we're going to have him for several years, and then him retiring. That suddenly you kind of wonder, like, one, who is even available to try to replace a guy that that prolific and who was able to step in and stay healthy, which was the big knock on him going into free agency. And you wonder, is Garrett Bradbury going to be able to do that? He was the Vikings center, then he went to the Patriots.
The Patriots did not have a great line.
No, they did not. And he's been around the league a bit. So you wonder, is this going to be a long-term solution? Are we going to be looking for a long-term solution in the draft? It leaves a really big question mark at a very critical position on the offense.
Let me throw some controversy out there. Same college as Andrew Luck, right?
Who?
Drew Dahlman.
Dahlman, okay.
So maybe they got some statistics where they know you need to quit about age 28 if you want to have your body.
Well, Andrew Luck was getting
he got beat the head.
He almost lost mobility in his neck. So I ain't too mad at Andrew Luck.
I'm not mad at them for it, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, whatever reason he retired, that's his decision, and all we could do is wish him the best. But we got to wonder going forward, what's our next play? Garrett Bradbury has been around the league. He's a veteran. He can definitely step in and do the job. But in terms,
we didn't pay much for him too either. It was a next year
a fifth round pick.
Is it this year or next year?
I think it was next year. I could check.
Yeah, next year. But that was really inexpensive. So to at least have a veteran center, even if I hope we draft a rookie high for the center position. But to have a veteran,
I'm getting into it. You talk about drafting center high, like okay. I liked having Drew Dahlman too, but man,
I loved having Drew Dahlman. I loved it.
But I'll say this: look at what losing their center did to Detroit's very, very well respected O line. So it's very possible that we do need a player that's that talented at that crucial of a position, because the center has to obviously deal with nose tackles and three techniques. So you got to be strong and fast. He's got to have the calls at the line and checks for protection for the O line and do all this communication. He's got to snap it properly. He's got to do shotgun snaps and then get into his set. So there's a lot going on at that position, and you need a guy who can do it. So
and how many times have we been in a position where we got a guy that's actually blocking halfway decent at center,
but he
can't hike the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't get the ball to the quarterback
many times. So
and then you get a guy that actually can get the ball to the quarterback, but he's Swiss cheese. There's holes everywhere, and people are just running right through. And
so it's not a given that you a veteran and then he's the guy and you plug and play. But all we can do is trust that Ben Johnson will get the best out of whoever we put in front of him, and we'll see where we're at when we come next year. Now, at left tackle, that's another question about what's going to happen, because now we've lost Braxton Jones. He's moved on.
Wait a minute.
Braxton Jones staying. I lied. He was a free agent. I thought he was moving on, but we re-signed him. We
re-signed him.
But then we've got injuries to all of our young guys from last year that I don't think they're going to be available, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Ozzy's hurt, but Ozzy Trapillo is hurt, but
Trapillo's hurt.
Theo Benedict's all right. Theo Benedict's okay.
Back. Okay.
And he did okay for us. Braxton's back to fight for the job. He lost. Let's be
He
honest.
did lose the job. Yes.
He lost the job. So that's a big deal. But we did go out and we did actually fill in a little bit in that area. I'm trying to remember who we did.
Jedrick Willis. It was Jedrick Willis.
Yep.
Former Browns left tackle.
Yep. So we brought Jedrick Willis in. He's if you look at his numbers when he was healthy, he's not a bad left tackle.
No.
As a matter of fact, he may be sitting at the top of our depth chart before the ball is hyped, right? Which would be a great thing. If literally, I'm going to say that his career compared to Braxton's career, and Braxton's not terrible. He's serviceable. He's not great. We know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not terrible. But Willis, from the looks of his career, and I haven't watched a lot of his film or anything like that. I just looked at numbers. But from the looks of his career and how he's rated as a blocker, he's ahead of Braxton, which is a good thing. So you brought in a guy that's better than the guy you're bringing back to say, hey, guess what? Honestly, the guy that's gotten surgery has clearly shown that he's the starter, right? So the three of you, Ozzie, and Jedrick, you guys go fight it out. And I don't have a problem with that.
Willis is coming off of a major injury. He didn't play at all last year. And the year before that, 2024, he didn't really look that great. Like, he was a young ascending tackle before that. Looked really talented. But these injuries seem to be kind of sending him the wrong direction in terms of his career arc. So hopefully he can have a bounce back here with us. Hopefully he's back to full health after taking that year off. That would be the ideal situation. But honestly, between him and Braxton, it's hard to really say. I don't think either of them look like a long-term solution from the information we have today.
No, we got them both cheap. And there's a reason we got them both cheap as left tackles go. Yeah. Because there wasn't this long line at their door of people looking, saying, hey, I want these two guys. Ozzie, I think, still is the number one left tackle we've got. And I would love that he had never went down, right? Because he was balling. He was balling. He was getting his job done, man. He was protecting Caleb's blind side, and he was decent at run blocking. And what else do you want? Yup. So, man, hey, but one of the people that we let go, DJ Moore. So DJ Moore was on the lowest year of his season. DJ Moore over his career averaged more than 1,000 yards every season. He even averaged more than 1,000 yards in his 3-year stint with the Bears. However, last year, being just over 600 yards was literally the lowest average that he's had.
Including his rookie year.
In any year, that's the lowest number of yards that he's had, period.
Yeah.
So, it's absolutely, it's he's hard to replace, but this is what we did. And at first, when I looked at the numbers, I'm like, Khalif had a 600-yard season last year, but that was his best season of his career. And he's not young. He's I think 31. And so, I'm like, I'm not expecting him to come in and be the number one wideout. He's not. He's not a number one wideout, but he's probably a real solid number 3, which actually helps.
You're misreading something. You're misreading something, sir.
Well, wait, I was getting there.
Okay.
I was getting there. But when I watched the film of his kick return potential and the things he's done as a kick returner, even against the Bears, I'm like, this guy as a kick returner is a weapon.
That's what we brought him in for.
Right, but he can still be a number 3.
He's a decent gadget receiver. He's a decent gadget receiver. Yeah.
But as a kick returner, he is a weapon. He is one of the most dynamic kick returners that's out there right now. I'm
Mhm.
not going to put anybody's name next to Hester because we remember what that was. But who was our guy that was the guy that got his neck broke?
His
That
neck?
played with Hester.
You talking about
Johnny
Johnny
Knox?
Knox? That was his
It
back.
was his back. Yeah, it was his back.
His back broke. Right, Johnny Knox. I would say this guy is equal to or better than Knox as a return man. I mean, he's going to get some. I'm going to say I expect at least one TD return this year, and I expect several long flip the field returns and a
That's
lot
fine.
of just
We
good
needed that.
returns.
Yeah.
Man, and you're talking about some of his film when you look at it is him just catching the ball on the 10 and making it to the 30 by hook or by crook. And whereas you could say, well, it was only 20-yard return. Yeah, but he had to fight for all 20 of them. And starting at the 30 is not starting at the 10.
Yeah.
So
no, and he's definitely going to be an addition, but I wouldn't even put this in the category of replacing DJ. Like this is
no, you're not.
Like, I don't know why I don't even know why that segue happened that way personally.
Well, because
This
his
isn't
position
even
is
right.
wide receiver. Okay.
Yeah, okay, he's the wide receiver.
And I was just
We
saying
need to-
how I looked
we
at
need
it.
to
I was
draft
like,
a guy who's got some top tier potential. I think Luther Burden can be up there. He's got to work on his hands and catching away from his body and extending. But overall, he's really explosive with the ball in his hands. Now, DJ and Caleb never really like synced up. You know what I mean? Like it was never really like the DJ and Caleb show, the way that we kind of expected. And
What
so
the
far it
Justin and
hasn't
Caleb
really
show?
been. I mean, at times I'll say, you mean the Justin and DJ show?
Justin, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Justin
it was the Justin and DJ show
The
immediately,
DJ show
and that was great. But what we didn't see on the side of Caleb and DJ, you kind of expect to see them from like him and Rome, and it's there sometimes. But either Caleb's inconsistency or Rome's inconsistency kind of precludes it from being the Caleb and Rome show all the time. Luther is kind of too young to make a judgment yet. He's had one season. It was a good rookie season. But overall, I find us in a position where we really don't have a
true number one.
And either that's a problem that we have to go out and solve, or we just have to trust guys to develop. And Ben Johnson's offense is a complicated system, and it's going to take some time for guys to learn. But at the end of the day, he's got to make do with the talent he has, and obviously DJ was a talented guy, and he couldn't really make him the weapon that he should be. I think he's going to go ball out with Josh Allen.
I think he's going to ball out. He's going to ball out.
So then what's the issue here that is causing our receivers to not produce at that level? Because when Ben Johnson was in Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown produced just fine. Is it the case that we just need a guy who does that exactly? Because that, I feel like that's more akin to more of a result of Jared Goff working really well in that kind of air raid style system with Amon-Ra, who works those underneath and intermediate routes really well. So is it just a case of like finding that match and that mesh between Caleb and a receiver that just matches what he wants to do? Because if so, who is that on our roster?
Well, I think Caleb's got to grow, man. Caleb misses too many of the easy passes.
I agree.
Which makes it takes the pressure off the defense. It also takes away, targets. Literally, I mean, even if you were targeted, but you're targeted and it's all practically uncatchable because it's driving into the ground. I don't even know if they count that as a target, or at what point is a pass so bad it's not counted as a target. I don't know what that metric is.
I mean, if it's in your vicinity as a target, but it may not be a catchable target.
Exactly. So, and Caleb throws a lot of those, especially on short balls. Some of the things where, one, you just, you just get some extra numbers. DJ, usually if he caught the ball, he got a first down because, Luther Burden's trying to become DJ and run after the catch, right? So you didn't. The ball hit DJ's hands, you probably got a first down, and I like that in Luther. Ball hits his hands, you probably got a first down. So I like that. So that's a big issue for Caleb. As much as it doesn't seem like a big issue, I mean, he can create magic, but can he do the regular thing? And honestly, if he was better at the regular thing, he would have been a 4,500-yard easy quarterback.
Yeah,
because he left a lot of short passes on the table.
Yeah, it's just his first year or first full year in Ben Johnson's offense. So,
but still, as a quarterback, you got to be able to hit a guy 10 yards away from you, like physically 10 yards.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Sometimes the accuracy is not there, and especially deep. But at the end of the day, as far as making it easy for Caleb, that's showing Ben. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do that part. And I didn't really see him do that with DJ. I didn't really see him do that with Rome. He kind of works a little well with Luther Burden because Burden's got that quick shiftiness. And once Burden started, really understanding the offense and was out there a lot, he started getting a lot of targets and he started producing a lot. And he wasn't totally consistent because he's a rookie, and rookies still got a lot to learn about the game and what defenses do when they try to focus you and try to take you away. But as he grows, I think he's going to try to take that role. I think he's got the best chance out of anybody we have to take that role as that number one.
Do we become the Kansas City Chiefs through their runs where Kelsey was the number one target?
I hope not, personally.
Because Loveland last year was the number one target.
Loveland last year was a huge surprise as a rookie, and I will forever
because you didn't
care that I did not like that pick. I did not like that pick when we took him.
You were flipping.
You know what? That's why they get paid the big bucks to make decisions like that and make calls like that, where people don't have all the information, but they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad
they ended up even. They ended up pretty much even. I think Loveland got more tutties than your boy.
And if he continues that pace of production, actually he would have to even increase that pace of production that he had even more, just to justify a top 10 pick, because you're talking like 700 yards or whatever that he had. Like, that's great, but that's not top 10 pick production yet. You know what I'm saying? Brock Bowers was picked a spot before that, or a spot or two before that, the year before, and he put up like 1,100 yards.
Yeah, but
so
last tight end that's had over 1,000 yards his rookie year.
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, before him. Right. This is. I'm not saying
he has to be that. I'm saying that the bar to be justified as a rookie, as a top 10 pick, Loveland met and exceeded it. The bar to be justified when you're going in for your second contract and we're going to have to pay you $60-70 million at that tight end position and keep you for another 4, 5, 6 years, your rapport with Caleb has to be so unassailable that we don't question that money.
Yeah, for sure. He has to.
So the bar that he is going to have to clear. Now, he's had a great rookie year. I think he played fantastic. I think he's talented. The kid's got some juice for sure. But in terms of him trying to take that number one spot and be that guy, he's really going to have to step up his game yet again. And he was already playing at a very high level. So we'll see.
He's got to be able to play during the playoffs, because he sucked in the playoffs.
The first game against the
Packers.
The Packers, he played well.
I mean, but you're right. He played well against the Packers. By the time we hit the Rams, he was
the Rams game he wasn't
terrible.
The Rams game he wasn't doing it.
But he dropped enough passes to ruin his average for the year on drop passes. It was abysmal. I was a horrible game.
It happens. He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn how to keep his focus. And
that was a learning lesson. It's 8 degrees outside. You're on your 20th game of the year after playing the whole preseason because you were a rookie. So you're really on your 23rd game of the year, and it's 8 degrees outside. Your body's worn out, your hands are worn out, your mind is tired. In your head, you're at home in your college dorm.
So like I said, Loveland's gonna continue to improve. Almost every rookie does. at the very least, he's going to get more comfortable and more confident in his role and what he knows he needs to do. He'll be thinking less and playing faster. So hopefully that turns into more targets, more catches, more touchdowns, and more offense. But it's just a high bar. It's a high bar. He's got to go up from already a fantastic rookie season. That's going to take some time and some effort.
All right, hey, jumping back in here, nephew. What do you think about this Devin Bush pickup?
Man, great pickup in my opinion, man. From especially after moving away from Edmunds, I feel like this is a great pickup for us. Edmunds was one of those key guys in our defense. A guy I liked a lot being here, but I feel like Bush is gonna be better for us, especially in coverage, things like that. He's much faster. I think
he's Justin Fields fast. He ran what, a 4.43.
Yeah,
he's at 230 pounds. He's Fields fast for a 230-pound guy, flying. He's faster than the safeties.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he can cover ground, and he's willing to hit. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, you're right. And as much as like I said, as much as I liked Edmunds, man, he just got cooked a lot of the times when he would get stuck on guys in coverage, and he just it's just not his strength. It's just not his strength, and I liked him a lot. But I feel like this guy comes in and just makes us a totally different defense, and I feel like it fits into what Dennis Allen is trying to do. So back to the point I was making originally, as much as I hate to see some of these guys go, if Dennis Allen and Poles in the front office can put together the right guys that fit the scheme properly and can get out there and stop teams, make turnovers, or just keep teams from being able to put up points and run all over us like they did this past year. Even though we did great, there were plenty of times where we just couldn't stop anything. And and
not the run too.
Absolutely.
This guy, I don't think Tremaine was a tackle for loss, nose in the backfield linebacker. Every once in a while, it would happen, but it was rare. I think Bush is more of that.
Yeah.
I think Bush is more willing to go stick his nose in the middle, and maybe it's just the physicalness. Like, Tremaine was 6'5", 250, but that's a pretty lean frame versus being 235 at 6'1". You're a little thicker, and maybe just by that, with additional speed and a little more thickness, maybe that's why he's a little tougher inside. But I think he's a better run defender. Which that helps. I mean, come on, it's Bears defense. You're supposed to be terrified of our linebacker. You think our linebackers? You think about it. Dick Butkus, Mike Singletary, Brian Urlacher, Roquan Smith. These are 40, 50 years of linebackers that people did not want to see when they came through the hole.
Right.
And we need a guy that running backs go, where's he at? That are looking inside to them. Where's he at when they're coming through the hole? Because we need that guy to give you that Bears linebacker energy where you are going to get popped if you come through that hole. And you better be a man because don't come through the hole trying to be slick. So I'm hoping that's what he brings. They had a pretty decent defense in Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland had a lot of problems, but their defense was pretty good, which makes the fact that they had so many problems even bigger, right?
No, Cleveland is one of them that's rotten from the top down, not from the ground up. They got some players, they got talent in there. So the guys on the field are usually not the problem in Cleveland, let's be honest. So Devin Bush, he's coming from, like you said, a very, very good defense. It's just going to be a question of how he fits in Dennis Allen's system versus Tremaine. I don't think Tremaine really fit that well into that system. He's had his best success in like Buffalo's like cover 6 and the cover 2 from our previous coach name, Eberflus. So I already forgot about him.
Right. The Flus is on the loose.
So he had a lot of success in those, deep drop, kind of deep middle zones where he was the middle field defender, whatever. But in Dennis Allen's system, there's a lot more movement. You've got to turn your hips and run with guys, and I think Devin Bush might be a better fit for that. So hopefully that's what we see.
And Tremaine was a ball hawk though for us. He had 4 picks last year,
he slayed
and
the picks.
he missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
So he probably would have been arguing with Byard had he played the whole season. He probably would have had 6 or 7 picks.
Yeah, no, he had a lot of picks. I really enjoyed having Tremaine back there. Devin Bush can cover though. He can just cover. He doesn't get as many picks. I don't think he has the ball skills Tremaine had. And Tremaine was an underrated athlete too, because a lot of his picks were like a deflection, and he's like diving through traffic and catching that ball and cradling it and coming up with it. So it was hands. It was like overall athleticism for him, and it was awareness how he generated his interceptions.
And we know for a fact he got one stolen from him in that.
Oh boy, did he
Niners game?
Criminal.
Did he ever?
We had a few criminals. Hey guys, I'm gonna bring somebody up that we absolutely love from the past that is now a Bear again, and literally purely because you brought up that he got a pick stolen. If you remember, this young man came in and he had to step in for when we traded Smith.
Mm-hmm.
When we traded Smith away,
my boy
he
Jack
had to step in. Yup.
Oh, Jack Sanborn.
Yup. He had to trade. We had to, and I'll never forget. If you guys remember, he had a pick in a game, and there was just some garbage baloney call that had nothing to do with the pick that made them erase that. And he had stepped in. The thing I loved about Sanborn, he stepped in. Smith was near. He was near the top of the league in tackles, and they trade him away. And here comes an undrafted free agent that steps in and continues to be near the top of the league in tackles for the time he played that middle backer position. Yeah. Tough guy. Slams into you talking about stopping the run, nose in between. He's not that fast, but I remember the game where he shoestring tackled Tyreek because he never gives up. He dove and caught him with a hand on his shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the type of he never quits. He's tough, forces fumbles, recovers fumbles, picks the ball, and will knock your boy on his butt. So I like his attitude. I love watching him play the game. I am so glad this guy is back. I want to see him fight for a job. He may do a lot of riding the pine because we got some great linebackers, but he's back.
Yeah. No, it's all love for Jack Sanborn here, and once a Bear, always a Bear. So we're happy to see him return. He made his name for himself here on this defense, and hopefully he continues. Because I think the kid is talented. I forget where he went. Like, was
Wisconsin? Great? He was Wisconsin. He actually played with TJ for a minute. I'm pretty sure.
No. When he left us, Dallas. Yeah, that's right. So he went to Dallas. Yeah, they didn't really do great there. So same point I was about to make. Raiders. I haven't really heard his name called too much since he left. So hopefully, he comes back here. He gets back in the blue and orange, and he gets some good hits, a sack or two, and has the fans calling his name again, because we definitely enjoyed having him last time around.
Oh man,
he's a tone setter. He's a tone setter.
He is beautiful. And also in that linebacker room, we brought back someone else that we could have lost in free agency, but we did not. Jackson.
Yup.
And he put again. Grabbed him in the middle of the year, if I'm correct, right? We picked him up in the middle of the year, or did we pick him up at the beginning?
I think we picked him up in the middle of the year, but he was on the Saints before, I believe, so he was familiar with Dennis Allen's system from there.
We picked him up when a lot of guys got injured, and he balled out. Again, we picked up so many guys that balled out. I know we can't keep all of them, but maybe we could have kept all of them. No, we picked up so many guys. He balled out. And honestly, now that we've got Devin Bush, when you go to a nickel or a dime, who's on the field? Like, obviously, a dime, you got Devin Bush is going to be on the field. But if you go to a nickel, is it TJ and Devin, or is it DeMarco and Devin?
That's gonna be Dennis Allen's decision. We'll see what he likes. We'll see what kind of stuff. Because TJ Edwards, man, he knows where he's supposed to be. He knows what he's supposed to be doing in coverage. But he's just not as athletic physically as the other guys, I would say. But him and Jack Sanborn are both really, really great against the run and holding up on that. So maybe we have some different packages for what we expect the other team to be doing. So we'll see how that looks.
Hey, yeah, you're trying to run out the ball, and we have to go to nickel. Maybe we see TJ and Sanborn because we know, hey, these guys are up by 3 and they're trying to run the ball. Let's just we need them to punt.
Yep. Right.
So yeah, I agree. I think we'll see a lot of stuff in packages, and we'll find out what those packages bring to us. Man, I honestly, as I've watched, everything that happened, that I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. We also tried to bring a lot of defensive linemen that none of them are stars or starters, but we brought a bunch of veteran defensive linemen that have some decent experience and some decent, not great numbers. Nobody's moving the needle in this group, but guys like Contavious Street, they could just play football. And, maybe somebody has a career year. Again, we had it happen last year. We brought guys in off the street, and we had 3 guys that have phenomenal years coming in off the street. So hopefully that happens with some of these guys from the D-line. But I think we have to draft D-line. We have to draft D-line. And I think we're going to draft defensively.
That's one point that I've been waiting to bring up, man, because, man, I know we only got a couple minutes left, but let me tell you, our D-line has to improve if we're going to go take the next level. Like, if we're going to take the next step and go to the next level. Like, the amount of times that we get washed off the line and we're relying on our secondary, on our backers and all this to make plays that should have been made at the line of scrimmage is just not acceptable. It's just not acceptable for the amount we pay our defensive line. We're paying a Dingbo like $25 million a year. We talked about that. We're paying
$40 million for the guys that gave us 3 sacks, 2.5 sacks.
Yeah. So we're 50-50 between him and Sweat, and then we're talking about.
Sweat did his job. He got a 10 sacks.
No, I'm just talking about edges alone. I'm talking $50 million on the
$50 million edge room.
It's another $25 million in the interior. So we're talking $75 million.
More than that. $20 million to Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, but
$20 million to Grady Jarrett, $19 million to Dio Adengbo. $39 million between those two.
Yeah, no, I'm saying our whole D line. Our whole D line put together.
It's $100 million line.
$75 million. Right. That's a significant chunk of the salary cap.
That's a third of the salary cap.
Dang near.
There's no reason we're not great.
We need to see way better production for what we're putting out. And I know Dingbo got hurt early in the year, but like you said, availability is part of the equation. Grady Jarrett did okay down the stretch. He was good for about a play a game, but for $20 million, man, I'm gonna need a couple more.
Right.
We gotta see something, and it's not contracts we can get out of. Like, that's what we found out when we started looking at it in the kind of preview to free agency video that we did, where these are contracts that we're kind of locked in, and they're forcing us to release guys like Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker and Nashawn Wright
and DJ Moore,
and Tremaine Edmunds, and we're releasing guys like that to pay you. Y'all got to step up.
Yeah. Y'all
gotta step up.
You're not going to be literally. I need Sweat to have a 12 sack season, and I need a couple guys to be right biting on his tails. 8, 9, 7, 8, 9
Yeah.
sacks.
And really what I need, man, I need some young blood in this room. I need to see some top tier talent get drafted. I need to see a first round defensive lineman. Like we need an injection of young talent in this line desperately. I need a superstar to emerge at that level of the defense because we just can't compete against teams that can do so many different things with the offense, so many different things between the run and the pass, and be multiple the way that the Rams were, and have all these motions and gadget plays and all that, and still run down your throat with tough runners like Blake Corum and Kyron Williams and stuff. Like we're not going to get past teams like that. And they lost to the Seahawks, who could do the exact same thing with guys like JSN and who's the running back who just went nuts in the Super Bowl, Kenneth Walker. So you got guys, you got to play like that, man. We need some talent on that D line, man. I don't want to see nothing but a first round pick spin on the D line. It's enough talented linemen. It's big old giant 6'5" DNs running 4.4s and 4.5s out there. Please get us one of them. Please.
Yeah, I agree with you. It deserves a first round pick. We haven't given it the time, and we got 2 seconds. So I'd say first round pick, give me a D lineman. One of the next pick, give me a center, and the next pick after that, give me another D lineman.
Yeah,
literally, I would have a first and a second spent on a D lineman. Then you want to play around with the rest of the picks, have fun.
Yeah,
but
honestly,
give
put us in a
me
situation where we got to cut somebody. Put me in a situation where we got to cut somebody because
absolutely.
What we getting ain't it.
Absolutely, but I respect Booker. I think Booker's coming along.
Booker played fantastic down the stretch, but again, the knock on him is the run defense. Is he got to be sturdier against the run? He's great against the pass. He swatted so many passes. Just from the perspective of he almost came up with a sack a game since he came back from injury, and then almost came up with a PBU a game to go with it. That's crazy.
Alex Brown, Micah Parsons, a lot of these guys don't have a run stopping body. We're in a passing league. We got to get to the quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, hey, you're a situational rusher. We do need a guy who's out there that when you know the other teams will run.
I don't think he's small. Like,
I mean, he's light. He's like 6'5", 245. That's not a big offense.
Is he really that light? That's crazy.
Yeah, he's smaller than a tight end. Like our tight ends are bigger than him physically, size wise.
245. So
so he's thin. He could almost play
guy,
basketball. Yeah. He's almost a basketball player.
Yeah, he needs about 20. He get 10 pounds of muscle, he'll be in a much better position. 20 pounds, he'd be a demon.
Yeah. So and there's a balance there because you don't want him to slow down. Like, no offense, you don't want him to slow down like Sweat.
Yeah,
Sweat's got the size, but he don't spring off that line too fast.
No,
So even if he comes back at 252, I'm happy.
I'm happier.
Like, get out of.
But yeah,
get out of the 240s
because you're a linebacker weight. You linebacker weight.
Right. You are a linebacker weight. Get out of the 240s. Get into the 250s. Let's just this year get into the 250s. Let's see what he can do with 7 or 8 pounds more muscle.
And I think he was coming off an injury a lot last year. Like he didn't play until week 10 or something like that, week 9, 10, somewhere around there. So he definitely has some recovery to do. And this offseason, he's going in healthier. He'll be able to spend a lot more time just focusing on improving, bulking up, getting his strength to where it needs to be. But that's what I need to see from Austin.
Again,
he could be really, really, really good. Like, I love his moves. I love his tenacity. I love his speed and his burst off the line. I love his length, the way he gets into tackles, into their pads, and is able to fight them with his hands. But man, you just can't get moved off the ball like he does.
Well, you know what? I'm still going to say this. Look, if we can keep you into 3rd and long, and we can send Booker after you on 3rd and 4th and long.
I love to. Yeah.
Man, come on, let him. He might have a 10 sack year just on that.
Yeah.
Go get him.
He can do that.
Go get him.
He can do that all day.
Right. But you got to have somebody that's that first down guy to get him in, to get him backed up. You know, you can't get run all over every down.
Yeah.
And that was last year. We were getting run all over every down.
That's correct.
Yeah. Hey, it has been a busy free agents. I didn't think we had the money to do this. We moved money around. The draft is coming up. It's going to be a busy draft time. Hey, man.
We still need some more money, to be honest with you, but I'm sure they'll make some more adjustments.
They'll make some more moves. There's more moves.
Yeah, and look for us to put up a video going into the draft. You know, we like to put a little preview video up, and then we'll do a review of everything we do after. So thanks for staying with us. But man, going through the off season, going through the motions, it's going to be a long time for our footballers back, but it's going to be a lot to talk about here.
Absolutely. Hey, well, I'm Uncle.
I'm Nephew.
I'm Son.
And we're talking Bears. Bear down.
Always bear down.